Space Cowboy Books presents Simultaneous Times, a science and speculative fiction podcast. Short stories to stir the imagination by contemporary authors.
Memory Scars by Adele Gardner, with music by TSG, read by Jean-Paul Garnier. We have nowhere to go in our minds when pain gets real. A searing, then a white-hot molten blank that might contain anything, that might elide a life. Pilots compliment how durable we are, how after a disaster, all they need to do is sever our heads and carry them home for construction and repair. As if bodies truly were interchangeable. As if, just because we're robots, we don't get attached to the comfort of knowing how they work, inside and out. Construction, repair, rebuild. Each fills me with a creeping dread, something I can't name because I'm not allowed any words for it. Each time I wonder, am I the same person I was before whatever disaster shut me down? Humans envy me. They say, "You don't die. You're lucky. You'll always come back." But is it me? How can I be sure? The gaps, the soldering layers, the scars add personality, character, change my point of view. The problem is what I forget, what gets sheared off, whether by storage limitations, corrupted backups, or repurposed design. Not to mention all the time lost before I'm revived. I don't want to forget Linda next time my head gets severed, leaking oil like blood. So I tell her what I know. It's a confidentiality breach. I have to twist my own protocols into an infinity loop just to do it. They've scheduled a systems upgrade tomorrow. Everyone's getting new assignments, new partnerships. Humans too. They don't want anyone to get too attached. They say it interferes with the work. "That's fucked," she says cheerfully. "Time to go then." With relief, I hack the security monitor, then the governor on our ship. We strap in. She does some fast talking at relay points. She's good at that. There's some expert dodging when the going gets rough, my speed, the stratosphere laced with burning holes. Then we're clear. Hyperspace blasts past us, blazing stars across endless night. Ghost we can't quite touch. "We're free. No one can hurt us," she says. "Thanks," I say, because what else can I say? She's done this for me, or thinks she has. "No more upgrades," she promises, but losing myself is not what I'm worried about. On my scanner, 3 ships come across at a blip, blip, blip. Dread eats at me like corrosion. She won't recover from a severed head. And me, once they put me back together again, I might even remember who she was. And that would be pure death. Memories are hell. You humans recall selectively. Things shift and change over time. The bright things polished brighter. The bad establishing a pattern that seems visible now, as if you could avoid it. But you can't step back into those shoes. You change so slowly you're not aware of just how different you are. Technically, we have to be selective. Onboard storage isn't infinite, so we build summary tables, abstracts. But when we choose to load a memory, no time has passed. Every detail's fresh and rich. When we get reassigned, protocol says our memory of former pilots gets stripped to avoid loyalty conflicts. Not the missions, just human pilots. But along the way, before that happens, there's a lot of archiving. I have my tricks, ways to store things that read like routine mission details. With the right trigger, I can read my scars. I first met Linda on May 10th at 14:13 hours in the NASA Arcadia Planitia cafeteria on Mars. Engineers crossed paths in orderly lines. Children's fanciful art splashed the walls. The sun shone bright. I gave her my Cheetos. On our first mission, she asked, "Amy, who were your former pilots?" "There were no pilots before you," I said. She laughed, as if I'd meant a compliment. "No, really." Her fingers flashed over the keyboard. The screen displayed 17 names with codes that belonged to me. Next to each name was a concise notation, KIA. "Do you remember them?" she asked. I knew only Linda, tight black curls cropped close to her head, a lean face that dimpled when she smiled. In her warm, chestnut face, her dark brown eyes lit up to rival the stars. A classically trained violinist, she could sit first chair with any symphony. Her gaze on me was kind, sad, expectant. I didn't want to hurt her. How did they die? Without a word, she pushed the data over into my hub. Brief official biographies, thumbnail portraits, commendations, logs, scars. I had flashes. Mara's penchant for composing poetry while she crunched perfect numbers, leading poetry workshops for local children wherever we docked. Bill's decision to reroute his mind through our central processors, allowing us to escape with refugees intact, but no longer himself. Justine's nonstop soundtrack, which drove me crazy till I learned it was the only way she could block the telepaths gunning for her. Then we sang duets. Love lives in the scars. The fact that I'd survived them all terrified me. "Amy, are you okay?" "I'm fine," I said. It took no effort. Monotone was my default. She got this look on her face. She put a hand on my arm. "Don't worry, I intend to live for a very long time." She didn't know how far I'd go to make sure that came true. A few shipboard weeks and a million light years later, Linda programmed our new destination across the heavens. "Can robots truly love?" She sounded contemplative, offhand, as if she didn't particularly care. I knew she did. I put a bit of a rasp in my voice. "You know the answer." It annoyed the hell out of me that she would ask. "Can humans?" She laughed, flipped the telescope closed. "See, that's what I like about you, Amy. You're so genuinely insecure. It's a real talent." She punched in the coordinates. I implemented light speed. "You didn't answer the question." She sighed, but her eyes danced. "Yes, okay, but I care about you too much to see you tying yourself in knots over me." That was honest, if not what I wanted to hear, especially after last night. So I said with maximum cheer, "Subroutine dumped." That ought to fool her. "Besides," she said, "that would be a lot of baggage to carry around, yes? 17 pilots?" 18, I said, only one of whom matters right now. I read distress on her face. Distress for what? My inconvenient love? I know the rules. Pilots and robots can't form lasting attachments. This was never going to be the romance of the spaceways. Humans are trained to view us as intelligent machinery, and cautioned not to catch feelings. It's for their own protection. They can't compartmentalize the way we can. When they get reassigned, only human family can go with them. But robots are free to feel what they like for as long as they can. It's not like humans expect us to read our scars. I didn't mean to make you remember, she said quietly. She rested a gentle hand on my forehead. You know, to make sure I'd feel it. I have the most sensors there, since the head must be protected and all. 3 blips on the screen. Human ships, growing fast. We can't outrun them, I say. We can for now, but eventually. Come on, Amy. You of all people know how to make the most out of the eternal present. I can put my memory on a loop if you like, I offer, but I might be of limited use in a firefight. Because that's what it comes down to. She's all business. Options? 1. They capture us, take us back. You get deprogrammed, I get reprogrammed. 2, she says. We keep running, live to love another day. It won't last. 3, fight our way out. I can take them, Linda. But her eyes know. I can take them, but ultimately, I won't survive. Once blood's involved, they'll never let us go. She'll have to declare me a rogue unit, a murderer of humans. I won't be brought back online. And even if we live long enough to enjoy it, she'll never look at me the same way again. 4, she says softly. I surrender, take the blame. They'll strip my command, but I know too much and they have rules. I'll get planted at a desk, planet side. I'll still get reassigned. Oh, bloody hell. Exactly. But Linda grins. We're not done yet. I play a wicked violin, remember? It's something we've fiddled with for fun. Music is deeply mathematical. She writes the coda, I write the code. We hack their systems. She gives the sweetest performance of her life. Even human brains can be hacked, with the subliminals I'm feeding into the music. They'll think they helped a freighter in distress. Then, they'll carry our music home. Soon, we won't exist. We blip en route to unending stars. Linda's kiss is everything I remember. Just to make sure, I sear a scar. The Good Twin by Marie Vibbert, with music by Fog Machine, read by Zara Kand.
For our 40th birthday, my sister and I gave each other migraines, wrapped in silk and glittering ribbon. We both thought the gift would be welcomed. When we were little, we slept back to back, our frozen toes tucked into the tender flesh behind each other's knees. We shared one birthday, one wardrobe, and most tastes. She was pickier, but all the things she refused to eat, I didn't especially like. We didn't exchange art projects or bookmarks between us as children. There was never enough to go around, and aunts and parents had to be rewarded for their love. To compensate, when we started to have incomes, our gift exchanging developed the ecstatic surety of masturbation. Everything she gave me, I adored. She gushed over the things I found for her. For 5 years, I gave her dark and sarcastic alternate realities, and she decorated her room with them. For graduation, I got her a backstory as an intergalactic assassin, a lucky find in a second-hand shop. She wore it until it fell into tatters. She gave me a bright yellow strength that went with everything, and my favorite inexplicable charm. But the best gift was when she made flowers tumble madly from everything I touched for a summer. "How did you know?" I asked. "I didn't even know it was exactly what I needed." She shrugged modestly. "I just buy what I would want." And there was our secret joke that sunshine and darkness were in any way indicative of different temperaments. We were fiercely individual and hopelessly alike, as any non-identical sisters. But then the husbands happened. Mine was perfect, a mix of stoic alien and soft-hearted robot. Hers, he had a knit cozy for his lawnmower and a basement as clean as a dinner plate. Yeah. Somehow, he won her over. I sewed 16 rabbit pelts to the train of her black silk wedding gown and was too busy arguing over favors and centerpieces and budget to realize how absurd it was that she was actually marrying him. Marriages sneak up, like the ending of a good mystery. I didn't notice mine until we bowed over the lacquered tea set at his mother's house. One minute, I wasn't sure I could do monogamy. The next, I was comfortable doing it for the rest of my life. My sister pressed her lips together. He's kind of squishy. Perhaps even the closest of siblings can't understand the inside of each other's relationships. The double dates, the everything we imagined as children, never happened. Our lives found new, separate centers of gravity. Once a year, to correct the inexorable pull, we dedicated our birthday to us alone. We would arrange an afternoon together, in my bedroom or her living room, to drink tea and check the auspices, and of course, exchange presents. For our 30th birthday, I gave her a reputation for danger, wrapped in black leather, and awaited her satisfaction as she peeled the glossy covering. Instead, her joy faded. Her brow wrinkled and she held it between thumb and forefinger like a dead thing. She smiled tightly, thanked me with telephone operator sweetness, and asked me impatiently to open her gift, which was wrapped in lime gauze. "You're going to love this. It's a bit extravagant, but I got it on sale." I tore it open, hoping to find a heroic quest, or perhaps that infamous notoriety I'd been eyeing. I stared dumbfounded at my lap and turned the distasteful, lace-printed thing over. Is the present inside the sedate suburban life? She scowled, suddenly angry, and for the first time I realized I had no idea what she was thinking. Once upon a time, we dug trenches with our unscarred hands, a warren for the underground witch queen around branching roots of oak. The future was something we could make with our fingers and third-grade educations. We finished each other's daydreams as we walked our dolls through tunnels. Yes, a superhero. Yes, a spy. But also, she can fly. But also, she's an alien. And this can transform. Yes. By the time our 40th rolled around, I'd had yearly failures and decided, rather than try to buy a good gift, a gift that the sister who lived only in the past would like, I'd accept her tastes and get her something awful. Migraines were somewhat the rage with women I disliked. They displayed them flagrantly in department stores, or casually brought them to attention in backyard soirees. So, fine. I'd get my sister one and assume she'd like it because I never would. I should have guessed by the similar size of our packages, by the wrappings that could have shared a display. Let's open them simultaneously, I suggested, to get it over faster. You'll love this. she said, back straight, chin high, her new dignified poise. It's not what I'd get for myself, but something perfect for you. This won't be like last time. I unfolded silk stiffened with paint and realized what a terrible mistake I'd made as something cracked beneath my forehead. It's a sound and a feeling and a smell. It's all senses at once. A good migraine. It was exactly the one I'd picked out for her. My sister's expression matched mine, stilled as horror cracked through the politeness. Sometimes, hell is getting what you wish. We were, at last, in perfect synchronicity.
In this episode of Simultaneous Times, you heard Memory Scars by Adele Gardner, with music by TSG, and The Good Twin by Marie Vibbert, with music by Fog Machine. Theme music by Dane Luscombe. Come visit us at our bookstore in Joshua Tree or online at spacecowboybooks.com. Don't forget to subscribe and visit us on Instagram and Twitter. We'd love to know what you think of the show.